And we'll finish off the show with this question for both of you about Rangers: Is what do you make of the Davide Ancelotti rumors as the next manager? It seems like obviously an incredibly risky one, but I'd like to get both of your opinions.
Go
Go
on,
on.
Pete.
Very ambitious move from Rangers. They're sort of thinking outside the box here. Obviously, as they need to bring in a new manager to replace Philippe Clement. Obviously, they're going down this new model of probably of a head coach. Ancelotti hasn't managed the team himself. Obviously, he's had very important roles working under his father Carlo at Bayern Munich, Napoli, Everton, and now Real Madrid, where he did do a lot of the work at Real Madrid. He was the one who was coaching and training the team, while Carlo was like the manager, picking the side and obviously dealing with everything else, dealing with the players and the egos at Real Madrid. But look, he's got a great CV, and he's learnt from one of the best managers of all time in his father Carlo. He's one of those up and coming young head coaches. He would be exciting if Rangers could get him. It would be a gamble because he's never been a head coach in his own right at a club as yet. But from people I've spoken to, people are very impressed by Ancelotti. Even when he was at Everton, a lot of people were talking about him being a Premier League manager in the future as well. And look, Rangers have sort of throwing their hat into the ring to try and lure him to Scotland, which will be a huge coup for Rangers if they're able to do it. Look, every managerial appointment comes with risk and is a gamble, but it's one that obviously Rangers feel could pay off.
I think it's a calculated gamble. I really do. I think you look at where he's worked with his father, and as Pete says, the work done on the training ground. Carlo Ancelotti, it's a man management skills what he's got and how he deals with the players. It's him that will pick the players at the end of the day. He'll decide the tactics and he will decide the way that the team play and who plays and who doesn't play. But actually, the work on the training ground, what his son's done, it's apparent. How would you get experience if you're not given an opportunity? Our Rangers going to be the first one to give him that opportunity, and I think it would be. No slight on Rangers. There's a lot of bigger clubs in Europe than Rangers, but actually, for him to cut his teeth as a manager, who's going to take that opportunity on him? Somebody's got to be the first one to give him that chance. I think everything, his CV, the history, his stock, everything backs up that he should be given an opportunity. Who are going to be brave enough and bold enough to give him that opportunity? The one worry for me would be the man management side of the players, because that's something that he's not had to do before. But as you say, he's worked with his old man day in and day out, and he sees how to do it. Will he gain the respect of a dressing room immediately? That's the one side of management that he hasn't had to do before. But how does he know, and how does anyone else know, and how does he get that experience if he's not given an opportunity? Yes, it's a gamble, but it's a calculated gamble with somebody that's got an excellent CV. And if his surname wasn't Ancelotti and he had that CV, and you look where he'd worked at those clubs, and you look at who he'd worked with, you'd look at that and go, yeah, I can understand why they've appointed him.